They say every neighborhood has a Karen. I just didn't expect mine to try to ban my therapy dog, call the cops, and nearly poison her. What started as a peaceful move to heal from trauma turned into a legal battle with a power-hungry HOA queen, and it took the police, federal law, and a whole lot of patience to stop her. When I moved into Rosewood Gardens, I thought I'd found a peaceful neighborhood to finally relax and recover. After battling severe anxiety and PTSD following a car accident 2 years prior, I wanted quiet, stability, and space to heal. What I didn't expect was a neighborhood tyrant, a woman named Karen Witherspoon, who treated our HOA like a dictatorship and thought my therapy dog, Luna, was public enemy number one. Meet Luna. Luna is a 3-year-old golden retriever, with the temperament of a Zen monk and eyes that could melt glaciers. She's certified as a psychiatric service animal and has been a lifeline for me. She wakes me up from night terrors, senses panic attacks before they strike, and provides a constant sense of calm in the chaos. She's better trained than some cops I know, and sweeter than your grandmother's peach pie. But to Karen, she was an unauthorized canine menace. Trouble starts at the welcome picnic. Rosewood Gardens is one of those suburban communities with pastel-colored mailboxes, manicured lawns, and monthly neighborhood events. The first one I attended was the Welcome Spring Picnic, and it was the day I met Karen. She wore a wide-brimmed sun hat, a perfectly pressed khaki pantsuit, and a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Her dog, an aggressive yappy Pomeranian named Winston, yanked at his leash, barking wildly at Luna, who remained calm and sat politely at my feet. Karen looked me up and down like I'd brought a wild coyote to the gathering. "You're the new girl in 4B, right?" she said, narrowing her eyes. "HOA policy says pets must be under 30 pounds. Your dog looks over that." "She's a certified psychiatric service dog," I said, already sensing where this was going. Karen tilted her head, fake sympathy oozing from her voice. "Oh dear. I understand you need emotional support. But this is a community, and we all have to follow the rules." "She's not just emotional support," I corrected. "She's a working dog. ADA law protects." Karen waved a dismissive hand. "Let's not get into politics, dear. The citation war begins." 3 days after the picnic, I found a notice taped to my front door. HOA violation notice. Unauthorized animal on premises. Please remove dog within 7 days or face fines. I stared at it in disbelief. I sent a polite but firm email to the HOA board, attaching Luna's certification documents and a doctor's note verifying her necessity for my mental health. I cited the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, and Fair Housing Act, both of which prohibit discrimination against people with service animals. The board didn't respond for 5 days. When they did, it was Karen who replied, from her personal email, not even the HOA account. "We are reviewing your documents. In the meantime, please refrain from bringing the dog into common areas. Residents have complained of feeling unsafe." I'd lived there 2 weeks. The only interaction anyone had with Luna involved compliments on how well-behaved she was. Then came the citations. For noise, Luna never barked. For defecating on lawns, she was always leashed and I cleaned up after her. And once, bizarrely, for aggressive tail wagging. That's not a joke. I still have the photo of the citation in my phone. I realized Karen wasn't just enforcing rules, she was making them up. Standing my ground. I started documenting everything. I recorded our walks, saved all correspondence, and even installed a security camera to protect myself from future false claims. Meanwhile, Karen escalated. She began warning neighbors about Luna, saying she had a dangerous temperament. She called animal control twice. Both times, they apologized after inspecting Luna and finding 0 violations. Still, Karen persisted. "She sheds too much. She makes Winston anxious. She's intimidating to children." Each complaint more absurd than the last. I reached my breaking point when I found Luna trembling one morning by the fence. Someone had thrown what looked like a piece of steak into our yard. It was laced with blue pellets. Rat poison. We rushed to the vet. Luna survived, thanks to quick intervention, but I was done playing nice. I filed a police report. They opened an investigation for animal cruelty. ADA doesn't stand for Ask Dumb Assumptions. With legal advice in hand, I sent an official cease and desist letter to the HOA and Karen personally, citing harassment and violations of federal law. I included statements from my therapist and Luna's training certification, and warned that continued interference would result in legal action. Karen's response? She called a special HOA meeting. Flyers were taped to every door, reading, "Emergency session, dangerous dog in our midst." Attendance encouraged. When I showed up, yes, I brought Luna, Karen immediately demanded I leave. "No dogs allowed inside the clubhouse," she snapped. "She's a service animal," I replied. "Then she can sit outside the door." I refused. "That's illegal." Karen rolled her eyes. "The rules are the rules." A few residents spoke up for me, clearly uncomfortable with the direction things were heading. But Karen wouldn't back down. She began reading a long, fabricated list of incidents involving Luna, most of which had never happened. That's when I pulled out my phone. "This is a recording of Luna on every walk for the past month," I said. "Not a single bark, not a single mess, not a single incident. And here are statements from Animal Control, my doctor, and your own HOA policy handbook. You're in violation of both state and federal law." Karen's face twisted. "Don't try to threaten me, sweetheart." Then she made her mistake. She lunged forward and yanked Luna's leash out of my hand. Luna didn't snap. She didn't growl. She simply sat down, confused. The room went dead silent. The police step in. I called 911. "Someone just attempted to interfere with my service animal," I told the dispatcher. "She's certified under the ADA." Police arrived within 10 minutes. Karen greeted them with her fake smile, but it quickly faded when they asked for my documentation, which I handed over without hesitation, and then turned to her. "Ma'am, unless you're a licensed medical provider or law enforcement, you are not authorized to question the legitimacy of a service animal," the officer said. "And you absolutely cannot touch her leash or attempt to remove the dog." Karen stammered something about concerned neighbors and public safety, but the officer wasn't having it. "This is bordering on harassment," he warned. "I suggest you back off before we pursue charges." She was issued a formal warning and told to cease any attempts to ban Luna or interfere with my rights. When I asked if I could press charges for the poisoned meat, the officer nodded. "We're investigating that separately. But you have grounds." Karen looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. Aftermath. The HOA quietly removed Karen from her role as head of the Pet Policy Committee. A new board member, an elderly man named Carl who adored Luna, replaced her. The citations were expunged, and I received a written apology from the board, probably drafted by their lawyer. Karen still lives 3 houses down, but we don't speak. She walks Winston in the opposite direction now. Occasionally, I see her peek through the blinds when Luna and I stroll by. Luna doesn't even notice. Funny thing is, the neighbors who were once neutral have warmed up. Some leave treats for Luna on our porch. A couple of kids even asked to walk her, with permission, of course. I still deal with anxiety, and I still have bad nights. But thanks to Luna, I have fewer of them. And thanks to this ordeal, I've learned that standing up for yourself, even when your voice shakes, is worth it. Karen may have run the HOA like a petty tyrant, but in the end, the law was on my side. And more importantly, so was Luna. Epilogue. Luna the local hero. A month after the police incident, the local paper ran a small human interest story titled "Therapy Dog Saves the Day. HOA Drama Ends with a Woof of Justice." It featured a photo of Luna in her little red vest, sitting like a queen. No one should have to fight this hard just to live in peace with a service dog. If you've ever stood up to a bully, or been underestimated, this story's for you. Like if you believe in justice. Comment if you've ever dealt with a Karen. Subscribe to see how Luna and I keep fighting the good fight.